Bella was a bright, joyful 10-year-old living in a small village nestled among green hills. She loved playing with her friends, running through the fields, and listening to her grandmother's stories about the stars. Life in the village was simple, and Bella's biggest worries were whether she'd get to play hide-and-seek after school, or if she could sneak an extra piece of fruit from the kitchen. But her innocence was shattered when an older boy, a neighbor whom she trusted, took advantage of her naivety. One afternoon, he lured her to a secluded part of the village, offering sweets and promising to show her something amazing. What followed was a traumatic experience that Bella couldn't fully understand. She was confused and scared, not knowing the gravity of what had happened to her. Days turned into weeks, and Bella felt something was wrong. She felt sick often, unable to keep food down, and her body started to change in ways that frightened her. Her mother noticed but dismissed it as part of growing up, not realizing the horror her daughter had endured. As the months went by, Bella's condition became impossible to ignore. Her belly began to swell, and whispers spread throughout the village. Her mother, horrified and heartbroken, finally understood what had happened. The truth was unbearable, but it had to be faced. Bella was pregnant, and she didn't even know what that meant. The village, steeped in tradition, reacted with a mix of pity and condemnation. Some villagers blamed Bella, others cursed the boy, but most just looked away, not wanting to be involved in the scandal. Bella's mother tried to protect her as much as she could, but the weight of shame hung heavy over their home. Bella's childhood was abruptly stolen from her. She was no longer seen as a little girl. She was an outcast, carrying a burden she could neither understand nor bear. The village that once felt like a safe now seemed like a prison filled with judgmental eyes. Bella's pregnancy progressed. She found herself isolated. Her friends no longer played with her, and she stopped going to school. Her mother tried to be strong for her, but she often broke down in tears, overwhelmed by the situation. Bella's body was changing rapidly, and she didn't know how to cope with it. The pain, the discomfort, and the fear were constant companions. She didn't understand why her body was betraying her, why she was being punished, or what would happen to her. The only comfort she found was in her grandmother's stories. Late at night, when her mother was asleep, her grandmother would sit by her side and tell her tales of brave women and resilient spirits. Bella clung to these stories, finding solace in the idea that she, too, could be strong. But strength was hard to find. The boy who had hurt her remained unpunished, his family protecting him from the consequences of his actions. Bella's mother tried to seek justice, but the village elders dismissed her, saying it was too late to do anything. One night, as Bella lay awake, feeling the baby move inside her, she realized that despite everything, a new life was growing within her. This thought terrified her, but it also gave her a strange sense of purpose. She didn't know if she could be a mother, but she knew she had to try. This baby didn't ask to come into the world, just like she didn't ask to be hurt. But now that it was here, she had to protect it. Bella's grandmother noticed the change in her. The old woman had seen many things in her life, and she understood the pain Bella was going through. But she also saw the flicker of determination in her granddaughter's eyes. "You are stronger than you know, Bella," her grandmother told her one night. "This child is a part of you, and you must give it love, even if the world has not shown you much." With her grandmother's words in her heart, Bella began to find the strength to face her situation. She started helping her mother more around the house, preparing for the baby's arrival. It was hard, and she was still scared, but she felt a small glimmer of hope. Maybe, just maybe, she could survive this. The day finally came when Bella went into labor. It was a long and painful ordeal, but after hours of struggle, she gave birth to a healthy baby girl. As she held her daughter in her arms, Bella felt an overwhelming rush of emotions: fear, love, sadness, and a glimmer of hope. The village remained divided in their views, but Bella didn't care as much anymore. Her focus was on her child, who she named Hope. The name was a reminder of what she had found in the darkest time of her life. Bella's mother and grandmother stood by her, helping her raise the baby. They knew it wouldn't be easy, but they also knew that Bella had the strength to overcome whatever challenges lay ahead. Bella herself had grown from the experience. She was still a child in many ways, but she had learned about life's harsh realities too soon. However, she also learned about resilience, love, and the power of inner strength. Bella's story teaches us that even in the darkest of times, hope can be found. It reminds us of the importance of support, love, and resilience in overcoming life's challenges. No matter how difficult life may seem, there is always a light within us that can guide us through the storm.